What's going on, people on the internet? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to show you 5 camera tools that I regret not buying earlier. Let's get to it. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Royce Lee, and today I'm going to show you 5 camera tools that I regret not buying earlier when I started this whole entire journey of photography and videography. So in no particular order, number 1 on that list is going to be a camera multi-tool. Now, if you haven't actually purchased a camera multi-tool, I highly suggest it. I have 2 examples here for you to look into. First thing off the list that I purchased a couple years back is the red cinema line called the Sidewinder. Now, I love this one specifically when I first started out because there's just so many things here that's condensed into one actual tool. And quite honestly, it just helped me so much when I was hiking, camping, all that kind of jazz. You had the flatheads, all types of hex keys, screwdrivers, you got it all. But quite frankly, as time went by, I noticed oh, I have to choose this one. Sometimes I flip the side, I'm like, oh, it's not this one. It gets really tiring to use, but it's a great, I still think it's a great thing, but not specifically for what I do in my arsenal. So when Peter McKinnon actually released this camera tool earlier this year, I just loved it so much just because it has a pocket clip here to actually put in your pocket. But what I really like about it is that it actually has, versatility to it. So I can actually adjust this to how I use my gear in my arsenal. So I have a hex key here. I also have a screwdriver here. And then within here, you have your automatic screwdrivers / flatheads for other tripod sakes. So I definitely think that if you don't own a multi-tool like this or like the Red Cinema, I definitely suggest it because it's a great investment. You never know when you need it. And when you do, it comes in the clutch. Sometimes it's annoying to use a D-ring or like a coin or your fingers to tighten things. And it's a lot safer, especially if your camera is are thousands of dollars. You definitely don't want to risk it just by, you tightening with the coin or your fingers itself. So sometimes it's just better to have a tool. So if you don't have it already, invest in one. So the next on this is something that I suggested multiple times throughout the year, whether it be in an emergency box when you go hiking or camping, or whether it be, something you want to give to, another photographer or videographer, and that's a portable light. Now, I'm not saying you should get a flashlight, I'm not saying a headlamp, and I'm not even talking about a light from your phone. I'm talking about an actual light source you can put in your bag. Now, why I wish I had these lights specifically or a light source in my bag or something that I regret not having much earlier when I started is because knowing how to do some light manipulation, knowing how to light up your scene or your products or whatever is something that I wish I learned a lot earlier. And I'm still learning this and stuff, but right here I have the MC light from Aperture and I have the ALMW light from Aperture as well. These are 2 different types of lights. This one you can change the brightness and the hues and saturation. This one is the greatest perk because this is waterproof, so I can actually go within oceans or when I'm doing water photography. They're both very different lights, but I just in general, a portable light is something that I think that came in the clutch for me multiple times. If I'm lighting a product, if I wanted something to accentuate my side here, I would put this on the side. It's probably far away, change the brightness, and you kind of have my whole right side illuminated versus, right now, I have nothing. Things like this, while it's so small and compact, they really make this high quality and it packs a punch. So I definitely think if you know how to manipulate your lights early in the beginning of this whole videography and photography journey, it'll only help you in the long run. So if you don't own a light source, why not invest in it? So speaking of investments, something that a camera person always should have and should invest their money in is a tripod. Now, I specifically have the Peak Design travel tripod, and I also have some cheap tripod from Amazon when I first started this journey. But somewhere midway between those tripods, I actually bought the JOBY GORILLAPOD. Now, why I love this GORILLAPOD so much is because it's so versatile. You can maneuver it in all types of ways. You can lower it down to the lowest. You can kind of bring it up higher. You can attach to the poles. It's just a great tripod to be able to kind of go about the run and gun type of life. But not only that, this actual ball head on the GORILLAPOD is just so nice because I have other gear in my arsenal. When I figured out this can come off, I can actually use this as an overhead rig, part of an overhead rig. I wouldn't have known this, so if you haven't really realized this comes off, that now you know. So if you own a camera, if you own a DSLR, a mirrorless, a phone, and you want to have some type of versatility when you're going out and about, tripods like this is a great investment. So the next on the list is something I always carry and I love to carry wherever I can, and that's a pocket knife. Now, this here is the ProTech Malibu. I've been carrying this for quite some time again. Something about it just makes me feel a little bit more whole. But something like a sharp object, whether it be a knife, whether it be a box cutter, whether it be an X-Acto knife, things like that, I wish I actually, invested in and I actually bought earlier in this whole journey. As a videographer and a photographer, sometimes you have to makeshift certain things to make your subject pop, like using cardboard, whether it be, cutting some fruits for commercials, let's say. Sometimes you kind of have to make do what you have, and sometimes the camera multi-tool won't do the job for you. So sharp objects like this as a tool is of great asset to have to kind of make your life a little bit easier when you're doing your thing for a subject to be a little more detailed. So that's why I love carrying a pocket knife, especially for videography and photography. All right, guys, last but not least is something that I really wish I purchased at the way beginning, and I can't believe I purchased this later down the line, and that is a variable ND filter. Now right here, I have the Peter McKinnon Polar Pro, collaboration with the 2-5 f-stop, specifically for like run and gun types of shoots. Why I wish I purchased this and I regret not buying earlier, I had a lot of struggles with the whole technical knowledge of ISO, f-stops, depth of field, all that jazz. And in order to maintain that general rule of doubling your frame rates of like 1/50 with 24 FPS, I really compensated my f-stops when I, purchased like really expensive lenses. So I was surprised that I didn't know what ND filters are, because this really maintained the camera settings within my actual camera, and I didn't have to actually, suffer in post-process to figure out how I can make my images a lot more sharper, add more detail and whatnot. And the ND filter really helped that, in the long run. So if you're a run and gun type of shooter, if you like to go out in the sun, hiking, landscapes, ND filters will only make your life easier. And honestly, it just makes your post-process a lot easier as well. So if you haven't invested in an ND filter, it's definitely the way to go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Those are my 5 camera tools that I regret not buying earlier in this whole camera journey. So if you're in this type of video, feel free to like this video, comment down below if you have any questions or the type of stuff that you want me to get into. But if you want to join my journey, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be part of the ride. But wherever you are, hope you have a blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, and God bless. Peace. I can do this all day. Peace.